Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is Take It to the Hizzy Fantasy Hockey, TITTH number 135. I'm your host, Justin Bruni. I got big Nick Davis with me tonight and little Nick OZ. How we doing, boys? How we doing? Happy Monday.
What's up, y'all?
How's it going?
Pretty good. Can't complain. Had a pretty good weekend. How about you guys? Any big plans you got taken care of?
No, my cat was just, a lot of monitoring with him. Thankfully, he's doing better now. He's just chilling underneath the table now. So everything's good, but it was a little hectic when I got home Friday. It got crazy. So,
yeah, for the most part, I was out of town all weekend. I was in Las Vegas for work with Justin and I's dad. Our dad, yeah, I was working with him, and I had a blast out there, and I had to rush home from the airport to get on the Hizzy, but I'm glad to be on.
Yep, glad to have you. How was Vegas? Working hard or hardly working?
A little bit of both.
Oh, a little bit of both. You catching that, Pops? You in the chat here? You catching that? A little bit of both. little bit of lax. Maybe Nick was checking his fantasy score, or maybe not enough. I don't know. We'll get to that in a minute here. Nick, Big Nick, how are your Caps doing? How are the Capitals looking right now?
They are 6-2 in their last 8, so they've been handling business pretty much handedly. But Pittsburgh has just been streaking like, oh man! So they got the top spot in the division, but my Caps, they're just handling business like normal. I think we're gonna have a strong push in the playoffs.
Right on. OZ, how the Hawks looking?
Not good.
It's
hard to watch anymore. You look at a guy like Kevin Lankinen, who was leading that team all the way through, and he just fell off. And it's nice to see Malcolm Subban playing well, and he's playing at the Chicago standard. That's the best way to put it.
Mediocre at best. It's definitely not like our pizza, that's for sure. Yeah, the Hawks, they went 1-2 across 3 games in Nashville last week. The win that they took home was awesome, because they had a big comeback in the third period, forcing overtime, took home a nice little overtime win. I was feeling good after that game. But then they just kind of slumped at that 1-3 loss to Nashville on was it Friday or Saturday? Was it?
Yeah, I think it was Saturday they lost.
Yeah, it was three games in about 5 days. So, I mean, you take what you can out of that. Obviously, the NHL schedule this year is really intense. The Hawks are now behind Nashville and Dallas in the division. The odds are dwindling for a playoff run. We're still in it. We're like a handful of points out, but we can't lose many more games here. And as OZ alluded to, Kevin Lankinen, pretty much the star, MVP of the team, right behind Patrick Kane. He's just run cold. Like he's just gone on a bad run here. And I feel like that's a big woe of our recent success, or a downfall of our recent success. Me and OZ jumping on the Hawks update, but big update for me, as you guys heard me just crying and bitching all year long about my disadvantage in fantasy hockey. Like, man, I'm racking in points, but I can't win. I ran into the playoffs as an 8 seed. You can ask OZ why he's allowing 8 seeds in his playoffs, but I made it. I was in. I went up against the man, the myth, the legend, OZ himself. 8 seed versus 1, took him down. Do you believe in miracles, bracket busters, whatever? I'm into the second round. I'm there. You got any response, little bro?
All I can say is Mika Zibanejad. He came through for you on that Sunday game with a hat trick and 7 shots on that. I think without Zibanejad, that doesn't happen.
Mika, I had all of Mika, but I was missing all of Mikko Rantanen this week. Top goal scorer in the league, or one of them, right? So I was hurting. I was scared coming in. Being able to navigate through missing Mikko felt really good. It felt really good. But cheers to you. You took it down all year. Led the team in points, best record, first place overall. Did you win anything for regular season?
Yeah, I won $50 for first place.
Oh, well, there you go. Nice little parting gift. You're welcome. I'll see you later.
Yeah, you better make it to the championship over here, because me, mom, and dad, we're all out. Our whole family over here is out of the playoffs.
See what I can do.
We need
I'll see
someone
what
to
I
bring
can
on a
do.
legacy. Someone take home
told
that
you.
$100.
I told you make this league worth money, and I'm gonna win it. And I'm gonna stick to my word here. So I got to take down. I just took down points leader. Now I got to take the guy at number 2 and your buddy Carter, and I'm at number 3 in points. So it's gonna be a good matchup. We'll see how she goes. But enough of that. Let's dive into our Monkey Knife Fight props and get it going here. If you guys haven't jumped onto Monkey Knife Fight, please be sure to try them out if you're interested in prop betting. You can bet over-unders on all sports, fantasy hockey, fantasy basketball, football alike. So jump on there. We got a promo code on the bottom line. Nick, take away those numbers. Big Nick, let's go.
So the first one first two are in the Florida-Nashville game. It's Juice Soros, over under 26.5 saves, and Alexander Barkov over under 4.5 shots on goal plus blocks. So what do you guys think?
You got it, OZ.
Yeah, I definitely have the over on Soros. They're playing Florida. Florida's been a good team all year. Definitely the over on that. And then for Barkov, I'm gonna take the under on this one.
Okay, I'm gonna go over on both. I think the Florida offense. I mean, especially if you're buying into the saves, right? Someone's got to get it on net. Barkov still a line 1 center, I believe, for Florida. If not line 2, gets power play time. So I'll take the upside for both. Give me the overs. Oh, Nick's muted.
I'm going to take the over on both. I think that the first line for Florida is going to give a lot of action to Soros, which is going to lead to him being over as well. So give me that. The next two is Connor Hellebuck and Leon Draisaitl in the Edmonton-Winnipeg game. Hellebuck over under 29.5 saves, and Draisaitl over under basically anytime assists. So I'm going to take the over on both because Edmonton gives a lot of action, and Draisaitl's always getting assists. He does score goals, but he's more of an assist guy, and that's how his numbers get just way inflated. So give me the over on both.
Sailing over on both. Give it to me. What do you think, OZ?
Definitely the over on these. It's kind of an obvious pick here.
All right, cool. What's the next one?
Next one up is the Anaheim-Los Angeles game. We got Cal Pearson over under 28.5 saves, and we got Rickard Raquel over under 2.5 shots on goal plus blocks.
Let's go. Give me the over for both. I got Cal Peterson. He was a friendly ad today in fantasy. I need it. So give me the Cal Peterson saves. Anaheim doesn't really get a lot of shots on net. I think we're going to be flirting with that number. But hey, I like Raquel to get to the puck to the net. Only 2.5. I think that's easy money.
Yep, definitely easy money. I got the over or more on both all day.
All right, cool.
Next one up is the Jacob Scheikeren versus Brett Burns in the Arizona San Jose game. Burns has a plus 0.5 fantasy point bonus.
Yeah, as Kaikren, I think, leads all defensemen in goals. I'm taking Kaikren still. Gets involved on the power play, gets involved in the offense on a regular basis. Give me Kaikren.
Yeah, I got Kaikren too. I think, even with the 1.5, he still will outplay Burns.
I'm going to take Burns just to be the oddball. So give me Burns.
Fair enough.
Then the next one is Evander Kane and Teemo Muir, both wingers on the Sharks. So Muir has a 0.5 fantasy point bonus.
Aren't they line mates?
I think so.
Yeah, so give me Meyer because I mean, most likely if they connect on something, it'll be together. So give me Meyer, right?
Yeah, there's no reason not to take him. There's no reason not to take him. If they're playing on the same line, he's got that half-point bonus, and it's kind of obvious there.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's hammer down on those, make a little bit of money tonight. If you guys already haven't, please be sure to smash the like button, share the video, and follow us on YouTube /Take It to the Hizzy. Let's go. All right, first up, we're just going to go from the opening lines here. Most of these games have already started. Right now, we're looking at the Canucks and the Senators. Senators going on the road to Ottawa as favorites, minus 135 on the money line, minus 185 on the puck line to cover the 2 goals. And the over is sitting at 6 goals even. Big Nick, I'll toss it up to you here first. What do you think? Who's taking home the dub here?
I'm going to take Vancouver. Just a little bit of a preview when we're talking about waiver wire. Brandon Holtby is going to come up. But Vancouver is 6-1 straight up in their last 7 games against Ottawa. They're also 5-2 in their last 7 games on the road. And they're 1-4 straight up in their last 5 road games against Ottawa. So I'm going to take that Vancouver wins, but I'm going to say it's going to take the under because the total has gone under in 12 of Vancouver's last 18 games against a North Division opponent.
All right, right on. What say you, OZ?
Yeah, I think Vancouver's going to take this, like you guys were saying, like we talked about before the show. Braden Holtby's been electric these last 12 games or so, and it's not like they're also blowing them out too. You've seen like 3-2 games, and Holtby's saving like 25, 30 shots. So I'm going to go with the Canucks win, and I'm going to take the under.
All right, right on. Yeah, my gardener texted me like super early this morning asking me for picks. He's like, "So what do you like in hockey? What do you like in NBA today?" I'm like, "Bro, I don't even have NBA money lines right now. Like, give me a couple hours here. Like give me to like midday, and like wait also for like lineup adjustments and injuries and stuff like that." But I did tell him Vancouver is who I liked early on, so I really like the Vancouver pick here. And to Big Nick's allusion to the under here, or alluded to the under. I'm sorry, 12-6 in their last 18 straight up for Vancouver to the under, not even just against the division. And Ottawa has hit to the under 5-1 in their last 6 against Vancouver. So I think the best bet here is still to the under, but I really like Vancouver as well. Do you have something to add there?
Yeah, with Vancouver, I mean, Brady Holtby, like I shit on him every week, to be completely honest. I really do. But when he's on, he is on. So ride the hot hand. With Demko being out, he's got a chance, and he's kind of been electric. So, good for them that he's given them a little bit of a push. But man, if he actually like had it over an entire season, he'd be considered one of the better goalies in the league. Yeah. Like almost head and shoulders above everyone.
Absolutely. It's definitely too little too late for Holtby and the Canucks, but I do feel like Brandon Holtby was a big casualty of this NHL COVID season. The accelerated schedule, I just don't think fit him very well. And after Vancouver came back from their long stay away, in COVID protocol, they've had success. They've been playing much better recently. So I think that had to be to be a big factor involved there, was just that rest. And we've seen that from other teams too. We've seen that from around the league as well. All right, let's move on to the next game, though. We've got the Hurricanes going to Dallas, coming in as favorites. Still plus 200 to cover the -1.5 on the puck line. Over-under is at 5.5 goals. And the Hurricanes are favored at -135 on the money line. Dallas home dogs plus 105 on the money line. Where are you guys falling into this one? What do you think, Big Nick?
Well, Carolina's 5-1 in their last 6 games against Dallas, which is pretty impressive. They're 4-2 in their last 6 games against a Central Conference opponent. And they are, 9-4 in their last 13 games on the road. So I'm going to say that Carolina wins this. I do think that it's going to go to the over because it's gone over in 6 of their last 8 games on the road against Dallas. So give me the over.
What do you think, Ozzy?
I think I'm going to take Carolina too, just because head-to-head these two teams have been really close. But at the end of the day, it's always been Carolina to take it. And also, you got to think too, Carolina this year has been kind of a dark horse. Like they came out of nowhere and they're leading that division over Florida and Tampa, Dallas, and all those teams. And I think they're going to keep playing like one of the better teams in the lineup and win tonight. And I also agree with the over too, just because both teams have electric offense.
They do have electric offense, but I am going to the under. Carolina 5-2 in their last 7. Dallas 7-3 in their last 10 against Carolina. So I like that a lot. Dallas has been playing very, very well. 7-1-2 straight up in their last 10. So if you had read the bottom line at the start of the show, I do have Dallas in one of my best bets for tonight at the plus 1.5 on the puck line, because I do like Carolina to win. I do believe they are the better team. But I think that we see a close, tight game, a very defensive-oriented game. Give me a 3-2 win for Carolina, and Dallas covers the number. I actually suspect this one to go to overtime. Of all the games on the docket tonight on the slate, this is the game that I would bet to go into extra time. Anything to close that down?
No.
Okay, cool. All right, we'll move on to the next one. Sorry, I keep going away from the screen so I can't see you, and I can hear you kind of muting yourself on and off there, Big Nick. So I just want to make sure we close on or touch on everything before we move on. Next up, we've got the Oilers and the Jets. Oilers traveling to Winnipeg, coming in as a slight favorite of pretty much even money both ways. We got the Oilers at -120, the Jets at -110 on the money line. So paying even both directions. The over is at 6 goals. Where are you going at with this one, Big Nick?
I'm gonna go to the under. With this, the total's gone under in 9 of Edmonton's last 10 games, and also gone under in 7 of Edmonton's last 7 games on the road. But I'm gonna take them to win. They're 4-1 straight up in their last 5 games against Winnipeg. So give me the under and Edmonton win.
All right. What do you think, OZ?
I think I'm going to take the over for Edmonton just because they both teams have really good offense, obviously. But at the end of the day, I'm going to take Edmonton to win just because of the sole purpose. Connor Hellebuck's been in a big slump, and I do believe he's starting tonight. And, he screwed over my fantasy team this week, and I could have used a few points from Connor Hellebuck. And, he let me down. So Edmonton all the way.
He was bleeding out some points there for you. I don't know. I'm really torn on the over and the under here. I like the under because I believe that Edmonton is going to play or set the tone, I should say, set the tone of the game. And, Winnipeg's just going to be playing catch up. I could see like a 3-1, 4-1 type of game. But at the same time, Winnipeg, they've cashed the over 6 out of their last 8 games. So I'm a little bit torn there, but I'm still really confident to the under with Edmonton. And I just like Edmonton to win 6-3-1 in their last 10, 6-4 ATS in their last 10. I think they're just the better team, and they'll take home the money line win here.
Interesting against the spread fact. Winnipeg is 13-9 against the spread at home, so which is better than Edmonton. Well, it's equal. Edmonton on the road is 13-9 as well, but I think that Winnipeg is going to cover the spread.
Okay, so Winnipeg will keep it close. You're saying?
Yeah.
All right, right on. All right, next up we've got the Panthers and the Predators. So Panthers coming in to Nashville as road favorites, -135 on the money line. Over/under is at 5.5 goals. And, of course, the Panthers are the favorite on the puck line, -1.5. Big Nick, where are you going at with this one? Any love for the Preds?
No, not at all. They're 4-1, or Florida is 4-1 in their last 5 games against Nashville. And then also Florida is 4-1 in their last 5 games, so they're on a heater right now. I'm gonna say that Florida is gonna win this game. 67% of the money is on the over.
Interesting.
So and they're against the spread for home and away are pretty much even. I think that they're gonna blow them out though. So give me Florida blowing out Nashville. And it's gonna be to the under. There you go.
I really hope you're wrong because I also have Nashville covering the puck line of +1.5. So that's my only bet in this game. I don't love the number, but what was it? I had a note. Oh yeah, Nashville 6-3 in their last 9 against Florida. They're the home team. They got a nice little tune-up against the Hawks. I'm not going to say they're of equal quality of the Panthers, but they got a nice tune-up last week. So I'm gonna go with the Panthers in this one. I don't love them on the money line, but I'm gonna take them to cover. What do you think, OZ?
I think I'm definitely taking the Panthers all day in this one. I think on the Panthers side, their defense has been producing a lot of offense. Like I talked about, I think 2 weeks ago about Mackenzie Weegar. Like the other night, he put up a goal and 3 assists from the back end in a 4-3 win. And he's been a big piece, I think, on the defensive end. And I'm definitely going to take the over too. I think I do agree with the Florida blowout. I do agree with that.
Damn it!
I like the direction. I like the directions Florida's going, and give me Florida all day on the over.
The Joe Quenneville effect.
Yeah,
guys are rubbing it in. All right, let's move on to the next one here. We've got the Canadiens visiting the Calgary Flames. Canadiens coming in as road dogs, +1.5, 105 on the money line. I'm sorry. Over under is at 5.5 goals, and of course, Flames are -1.5 on the puck line. Where are you going with this one, Big Nick?
Oof. I don't really trust Ottawa, but Montreal has been sliding. Montreal is 1-6 straight up in their last 7 games against Calgary. They're 1-4 in their last 5 road games. And then also 1-4 in their last 5 road games against Calgary. So I'm going to say Montreal loses. I'm going to say Calgary's going to win this, but the game's going to go to the under.
What do you think, OZ?
I also agree Calgary on the under. Calgary, they have fair offense to say the least in that Canadian division with it being so competitive and all. Montreal's offense just hasn't been there at all. So I think it'll be a tight defensive game. So yeah, give me Montreal on the under. for Calgary and under.
I would not recommend betting this before the game. I would definitely bet it live. If you're going to bet before the game, I like the under. Calgary 10-4 in their last 14 versus Montreal. So I think that's plenty of enough upside to grab the under. I like that as well, guys. But I can't make up my mind here. I mean, both teams have been bad. I lost money last week betting for Calgary to win, so I'm not really that interested in doing that again. So yeah, I'm gonna have to stay away until I see some actual play here, get some live action. I was trying to live bet that Vancouver game. I think they're tied up now 1-1 at the end of the first, but I was like, man, I didn't bet the game before, and I told the dude, I was like, hey, you got to get that in. So I tried to get after it, but maybe I'll check back in when we get to the live betting at the end of the show here. All right. Next up, we've got the Ducks and the Kings. Ducks, Anaheim traveling to Los Angeles, coming in as road dogs, plus 140 on the money line, over under at 5.5 goals. Big Nick, where do you have this one going?
I haven't gotten to the numbers yet, but Anaheim is 1-4 in their last 5 games. So Anaheim's been, not having having a great season, even though they're so young. So I'm going to take, LA, just with the eye test. But I'm going to say it's going to go to the under. Both teams kind of struggle with the offense, even though LA has Kopitar, but, Kopitar's only one person. But both teams are going to go to the under.
All right. What do you think, OZ?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go to the under too. Again, 2 teams here, not a lot of offense. I like LA a little bit more just for the sole purpose because Anaheim's goaltending has been terrible. It's been pretty iffy. Some days it's like, okay, you got like Stolarz coming in and doing good. Other days they're just shit in the bed.
Right.
And I think this will definitely go to the under, and I've got LA all day.
Yeah, I'm going to take Los Angeles. I got Cal Peterson starting tonight. I'm going to need it. But oddly enough, the Kings are scoring goals, 7-2 in their last 9 to the over. But just like you guys said, it's really tough because the other direction, you got Anaheim 6-2 in their last 8 to the under, right? So kind of mixed schools of practice there. I'm going to go with the under and give me the Kings as well. I think those are pretty easy picks. I took this next one. We got Arizona traveling to San Jose. Coyotes coming in as very small favorites, minus 125 on the money line. Sharks minus 105. I went with Coyotes money line just because they're the better team, but both teams are really bad. Over-unders at 5.5 goals. What do you guys think about this one?
Give me Arizona. I don't believe in San Jose. They're 0-8 in their last 8 games. They're 1-5 in their last 6 games at home, so no home field advantage at all or rank advantage. Right. But I'm going to say the total does go over. Total's gone over in 4 of their last 5 games against Arizona. So give me the over, but they lose.
What do you think, Ozzy?
I'm actually going to take Arizona on the under tonight. Again,
okay.
I don't think there'll be too much offense in this game. I think you're looking tonight at like kind of like a 3-2 game.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I could absolutely see that. It's going to be a close one. Neither one scores in bunches, so I got the Coyotes on the money line. I really don't want to mess with the number. Sometimes, Coyotes can go in those big spurts of scoring, so I'm going to stay away from it because honestly, I could see them actually getting 5 on their own. They just put up random numbers like that sometimes. Last one up here, we've got the Avalanche and the Blues. Avalanche, they should be bigger favorites, minus 175 on the money line. I think that's really good value. Over-unders at 6 goals. I like the under a lot there, and you're looking at a minus 1.5 spread for the Avalanche. What do you think about this one, Big Nick?
Let me see what St. Louis has done in their last. Yes, awesome. I'm going to take Colorado to win. St. Louis is 1-3 in their last 4 games. They've split the past 2 games with Colorado, but I believe in Colorado a lot more than St. Louis. I'm going to say that the total goes over because it's gone over in Colorado's 13 of last 19 games against the West opponent. So give me Colorado winning, going to the over. St. Louis blowout, just blowout.
Yeah, I always love a St. Louis blowout. What do you think, Ozzy?
Yeah, I think this will be a close game, but I'm definitely going to take the over on this one. I think you're looking at like a 4-3, 5-3, 4-3 kind of game. I think both teams have pretty good offense. Again, they're both in a really competitive division, and they've proved themselves offensively with Nathan McKinnon on one side, Tarasenko on the other side. Just 2 names right there just as examples that are producing offensively. And, I think you'll have a high-scoring hockey game.
Colorado's still missing Rottenen, but they haven't skipped a beat. Their offense is explosive. They're still my favorite right now to win the Stanley Cup. So, yeah, give me Colorado all day. St. Louis, they've gotten it together recently. They're 7-3 ATS in their last 10, so maybe they covered the puck line. But I'm still not giving them, any love right now. Gonna stay away from them, especially when they're going up against a hot team like Colorado. So, all right, let's move on to the fantasy waiver wire. But before we do, if you haven't already, please be sure to smash the like button, share the video, and follow us on YouTube. Take it to the Hizzy. Let's go. Who's our first guy up, Ozzy, on the fantasy waiver wire?
On the first guy, we have Andre Burkowski, probably available in most leagues, only 38% rostered. But the thing that keeps him hidden, I think, is he's had 3 games in a row postponed. And when you have a player that has games postponed like that, it'll hurt their ranks really severely. And I think the last 2 games, he's got 20 points and 10 points. And if you're in a daily league like us, just throw him on the roster during the day. I don't think he'd be a bad pickup.
Oh, absolutely not. Especially like I mentioned with Mikko out of the lineup right now, getting a little extra playing time maybe on the power play and special teams. Only 38% owned, so go out there and get him if you can. Next guy up we've got is Anthony Duclear. Pretty popular name on this list. I don't know why he's always available. Let's see. In his last 3 games, 11, 20, 13 points. The game beyond that, 15, 10, 8 points the game before that. No goal scoring really, just a lot of assists. So I absolutely love it. Shots on net, pretty minimal, like 2 or 3 shots. Not really a lot of blocks, but man, he's got the scoring touch right now. Had 3 assists about 3 games ago, an assist in his last game. I think he's going to, smash Nashville tonight. Got some friendly matchups up against Chicago after that. So 30% rostered. Give me some Anthony Duclair. Let's go. Who's the next guy up, Big Nick?
Next guy up is the winger in Vancouver named Tanner Pearson. He is very available, only 14% rostered. His last game, he got 13.5 points with a goal, and then had 5 shots on goal and 1 block. Before that, there was a game against Toronto. He got 16 points, 2 goals, 2 shots on goal, a block. So he definitely has intermittent scoring, so he'd be a great streaming option.
All right, right on. OZ, who's the next guy?
Next guy, we got Travis Hammonic, who's only 6% owned. And I actually picked him up today, and I was just looking at his numbers before the show, and when I picked him up today, and he gets a lot of blocks when he gets himself in front of the puck. You look 4 blocks, 2 blocks, 3 blocks, 5 blocks in his last 4 games, and he's getting the ice time, playing around 16 to 20 minutes a game. Actually, in the game against Toronto on the 18th, he played 25 minutes.
Oh, wow. Was that an overtime game?
That was a regulation game.
Wow, that's a lot of
minutes.
That's a lot of playing time, even for a defenseman. So you got to like that. Got to like the volume. Got to love the opportunity, right? What was his percentage owned?
Only 6%.
6% owned, 25 minutes a game for a defenseman. I'll take it all day, twice on Monday nights. Let's take it to the Hizzy. All right, next guy up we've got is Brandon Holtby. Now, probably owned, right? And a lot of deeper leagues, he's probably still owned, 43% rostered. But this was a guy that you were not trying to start most of this season. His last 3 appearances, 14, 18, 21 points. And he's got 3 wins across those appearances. So he's doing something right for Vancouver right now. As we talked about earlier, Vancouver's been, looking pretty good recently. 26, 37, 37 saves in his last 3 games. Big Nick, can you really hate on it?
No, I can't hate on it, but it's just like it's like a lightning in a bottle. Like you got to catch him sometimes. And like seriously, if he gave me this all throughout the season, Vancouver would be in a way better position and be way more worth his contract. They it sucks that they signed Demko, then he gets hurt, and now Holtby's just on a heater right now, and they're like, wow, we just tied up a crap ton of money on our goalies. They're both okay, but you gotta change them out every once in a while, rotate them. Right. So it's cool, but it sucks that they're not really having a playoff push this year. It's just too little, too late, like you mentioned earlier.
Right. Oddly enough, in the game that he didn't play in their last 4, they lost 3-0. Big Nick always says, when Holtby lets in 1, he lets in 2 more. But in the last 3 games, it's just a 1. No shutouts, just a 1. But he's been holding off those extra two. He's been holding those extra two off for you. He's been listening to the show. Big fan. Big fan.
Good.
Holtby.
Good. I hope the best for him. But, like, dude, like, you can literally be the best goalie in the league, but you just don't focus like you should, I feel like. And I feel like there are just extenuating circumstances in his life that makes him not focus on hockey sometimes. If he just focused on hockey, he could really, like, take over the league. That's all I feel.
Yeah, like I said earlier in the show, I think that this year, specifically the COVID seasons, you just made him a casualty of the lack of rest, the lack of time off. You know, you don't get him the same amount of practices too. That takes away kind of some of the consistency. Maybe that's what happened to Kevin Lankinen. I don't know. All right, the next guy up we've got is Alex Nedeljkovic. Did I say that, OZ? Did I say that right?
It's Nedeljkovic.
Nedeljkovic. All right, fine. Yeah. You introduce him then. You know his name. I was pronouncing it like he was a tennis player. You go ahead, OZ. You got his pronunciation right. You go ahead.
We've got Alex Nedeljkovic on the Carolina Hurricanes, and you look at his numbers, and he's starting a lot of games. He started 3 games in a row against the Florida Panthers, and in those games, even when in fantasy, when a goalie's like not winning games, like in a game against Florida, he lost, let up 4 goals, had 7 points, but saw 32 shots. Even the game before that, he had a win against Florida, 32 shots. And he's getting at least over 25 shots recently in his games. And no matter – he would have to let up a lot of goals to not get a lot of points off of 25 shots. He'd have to be letting up like 3, 4, 5 goals a game. So I think the volume of shots he's getting, even if he has a bad game, will help even out his points and make him a good player for fantasy.
Yeah, that was a great take. I couldn't have said it better. I mean, the really only downside is he's 54% rostered, so it's a coin flip if he's going to be available in your league. So, yeah, very well said. Couldn't have said it better. Who's the last guy we've got here, Big Nick?
Alec Gogolowski. Am I close?
Close enough.
The defender for the Coyotes, only 32% rostered. He's had some games where he's had 13.9. Actually 2 games one against St. Louis, one against LA. He had 2 assists in the LA game. He gets blocks, 5 blocks, shot blocks against St. Louis. So, and he gets 22 minutes a game. So availability is always the biggest thing. So I would definitely put him in as a streaming option because it seem like it's very intermittent.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, 32% roster is not bad. I mean, you obviously see a couple of games ago, he's a -5 on the fantasy points because he was a -3 on the day. But that's going to come with that volume, right? You got to take the good with the bad. If he's on the ice on all the time, on a kind of a subpar team, a questionable roster, we'll say, right, in the Arizona Coyotes, you know, those days are going to happen. But, you know, the 13.9, you know, the -5, ouch, that hurts. But then, you know, 4 games before that, 9.6, 13.9, 8, 6.9. Those are respectable numbers for a defenseman. So right now, if you're chasing playoffs, you know, if you're in that quarterfinals or maybe even in the championship round, just depending on your league, I think this is a pretty decent pickup, and 32% owned. I think he should be available in your league. So let's get to it. You get the players and tools we need to take home some money in fantasy. All right, let's move on. We're going to go into our player award takes for this year. But before we do, if you haven't, please be sure to smash the like button, share the video, and follow us on youtube.com/take it to the Hizzy. Let's go. All right, first up, Rookie of the Year, the Calder Award. Big Nick, who's your candidate? Who's your guy? I feel like this is a home run. I feel like this is like kind of like everybody's going to have the same answer here.
Kirill Kaprizov, of course. His scoring is just basically double everyone else. And I'm just impressed of what he's done this year. So he's always one of those guys that you're just like so sure he's going to be able to perform. So I think that he'll be a home run hit for it.
What do you say, OZ? You got any dark horses?
Yeah, I like Kaprizov, but I like Robertson as a close second. I picked up Robertson on the fantasy team this year, and he was really consistent, putting up 37 points in 42 games. And I really liked him for the team. And he's only 4 points back at Kaprizov, who had 22 goals and 19 assists for 41 points in 47 games. But, yeah, give me Kaprizov all day. I like the role he's played in Minnesota, adding a little bit more offense to a team that didn't really have as much in the past.
Yeah, Robertson's been good, but you know, with the less games played, we're gonna have to see how it equates out. I had Robertson on my team last week. You must have dropped him at some point.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I have him right now.
He also cashed a DFS ticket for me last week. I had the Rupe Hintz and Justin Robertson stack, so I was all over that. Kirill Kaprizov, he's my guy. Picked him up in the start of the year. Been one of my fantasy favorites, along with a couple of defensemen of mine I'll get to later. But yeah, Kirill Kaprizov, he's a rookie of the year. We're not using odds right now in this conversation. If you can find odds anywhere, I would be attacking Kirill Kaprizov. But most books I looked at, they're holding those odds right now. So it looks like it's a home run from Kaprizov, and there's some upside for Justin Robertson to maybe sneak in there. If he finishes strong, a handful of multiple goal games after he catches up on games to Kaprizov, he could really make an argument for it. But I'm still going Kaprizov. He's been amazing this year. And in fact, I think he scored a goal in 4 straight games. Dude's on fire. All right, next up we've got the Vezina, best goaltender this year. Big Nick, where are you going? Who's your best goalie this year?
I'm gonna say Vasilevsky. I mean, he's kind of like almost head and shoulders above. He's one of, from what I'm seeing, 2 goalies on the list here that have over 1,000 saves, but his save percentage is actually a .011 higher than the closest one, which is Hellebuck. And the wins just aren't there for Hellebuck compared to Vasilevsky. That guy's legit. He's one of the best goalies in the league. He's doing what Brandon Holtby should be doing.
Yep. What do you think, OZ?
Yeah, I like Vasilevsky as always. I think, again, having that Tampa team in front of him, even with all the shots he faces, he's still turning a lot of them aside. But at a close second, I have Philip Grubauer. I think Grubauer has been really consistent over there in Colorado. And he also has 3 less games played, carrying a record of 25, 8-1, while Vasilevsky is 28, 8-1. So I think those two will be back and forth till the end of the season, and I'll be excited to see who ends up taking over the trophy.
Yeah, I'm going with Grubauer just because I feel like, Tampa, they had all their awards stacked last year. Vasilevsky's always in the conversation, and I think they'll just be a little bit more creative with it. I think Grubauer and the Colorado Avalanche, for that matter, have just been great this year. I think he can catch him on the wins. Obviously, some of the other stats, like he has like 300 more saves than him, but that's also because of just like their defense in Colorado. It's just that good. So I'm going to go with Grubauer still. I think they go a little bit different this year and not necessarily just give it to the home run guy. So, and also just, I don't want to agree with everybody on everything. So just got to get that out there. Next up, we've got the Norris Trophy, the best defenseman. Big Nick, we'll start with you.
For me, I don't know. I would say, usually I would say John Carlson. The team has been doing very well, but John Carlson just isn't like a huge household name because he's just kind of quiet in how he performs. But, I always try and pick a cap. But for me, I would pick Carlson.
Fair enough. What do you got, OZ?
I got Victor Hedman as always again.
Nick.
I know. He's the guy that you love to hate. I think he's tearing up the league, and offensively, he's getting in the play a lot. And I don't see why every year, as of late, he shouldn't be in that running.
I'm going with my guy, Shay Theodore. Dude has been, seriously, this dude's been the backbone for his team offensively and defensively. If Cole Maker hadn't missed games and kind of went into a little bit of slump, I'd be saying Cole Maker all day, twice on Mondays, but it's Shay Theodore. The dude's carried me, and really Alec Martinez could be in the conversation too. Is that his line mate? Do they pair those two together, Nick? OZ?
Yeah, I believe so. I think those two are playing together. Those
two are in the top 5 for offensive scoring for defense all year long. Whether it's and I'm speaking to fantasy too, but the assist and goal scoring and plus minus is all there as well. But in fantasy, they've been gold mines. They're both top 5 in scoring for fantasy this year, and they've just been the backbone for their team. So honestly, I'll take either one, but I'm going Shay Theodore. The dude's been a beast this year. If Cal Maker didn't go in a little bit of a dip, I'd be all over him, but I'm going Shay Theodore for best defenseman. And sorry about that, guys. I doubled down on the goalie list there in the notes. That's why we were scrambling for a few names there. Sorry about that. Not sure how that happened. We'll go to the Art Ross Trophy, points leader in the league. Big Nick, who you got? Pretty simple one. Pretty simple one.
It's going to be Connor McDavid, but I always think that Draisaitl can just go off anytime. But we had a conversation at the beginning of the season where it was going to be who has the most points between McDavid and Draisaitl, and sure enough, those are top 2. Yeah, top 2.
Hey, we got that right. What do you think, OZ?
Yeah, I've got McDavid as well,
Right.
but it's kind of obvious with Draisaitl having 64 points and then McDavid having 77, and then the closest one being 59 points with Nathan McKinnon in third. But I think McDavid's just on a whole nother level, to say the least. I think he's just something that we're lucky to see in our lifetime as a hockey player.
Oh, yeah,
And,
absolutely. Absolutely.
And I think it's what drives me nuts, too, is in 45 games, he only has 25 goals, but has 52 assists.
That's wild.
He's moving the puck. And I think that's what makes his game so crazy and versatile.
Yeah, he's awesome. I mean, obviously he's going to win it, right? Like he's got a 13-point lead with, 7 games left, 8 games left, something like that. Yeah, I can't see I can't see anybody catching him. So, all right, let's move on. We got the Selke, the best two-way player in the league. Big Nick, who you got?
Anze Kopitar. It sucks that he's been languishing in like LA for past couple years, but he always brings it every game. I'm always impressed with him, and he does usually in the discussion for the Selke.
What do you got, OZ?
In a normal year, I would say Jonathan Toews all day, because when he's on the ice, he's one of the best two-way players, and we hope to see him next year. But at the moment, I'm going to go Patrice Bergeron. He's one of the best defensive centers in the league, I think. I think he's one of the best face-off men in the league, playing on the power play and penalty kill. And I think for me, that's an easy pick. And I think in Kopitar, nothing against him, but I feel like he's starting to decline over the years as he's getting older, while Bergeron's still staying in his prime.
Right. I'm going to go a little different direction because those two literally trade the award back and forth. Like, hey, your turn, my turn. Hey, your turn, my turn. Andre Patrice. I'm going with Nathan McKinnon, center for the Colorado Avalanche. Like we mentioned before, he is third in the league in points, but he's also at the tip top for plus minus as well. And I feel like, I mentioned before, like Grubauer has so many less saves, over a guy like Vasilevsky. It really starts with that top line. And it kind of works the same way, right? For Boston and LA, those two centers in Kopitar and Patrice, they really set the tone for defense and offense. And McKinnon's that guy for Colorado, and just their success this year, I think, is going to bleed over. And I think, the awards committee, they're going to be looking at McKinnon like, we can't get this guy on anything. Like he's getting blocked out on points. He's getting blocked out on goals and whatnot. So I'm going to go with Nathan McKinnon as my Selke winner this year. He's put together a heck of a year, and he's played really great on both sides of the puck, offensively and defensively. So he's going to be my Selke, but both very good picks from you guys. Next up, we've got the Jack Adams Award, the best coach of the year in the NHL. Big Nick, we'll start with you. Who you got?
I'm going to take Joe Quenneville. He's put Florida on the map and put them on the map in a big way. Highly impressed with what's going on in Florida, and it's always good to see a hotter state with a good hockey team. Even though Tampa's been really good, it's always good to see the second team in Florida do well. Okay.
OZ, who you got?
Okay, to go with this, I saw a poll. It was from March 15th of 2020, and I looked over today when I was on my flight home today, and it was who were the top three Jack Adams candidates, and it was Rob Brindamore, Joel Quenneville, and at one point in the year, it was Jeremy Colleton as one of the choices.
Stop it.
But if I were to take any of those two or any of those guys, I would definitely take Joel Quenneville. I think he definitely, hands down, put Florida on the map. He is the reason that they're on top and they're doing well. And I could see them making a deep run this year, and I think they'll get better as the years come.
You guys took my pick. What the hell? You guys both sniped me. I'm going to go with Dubauer in Vegas. I mean, Vegas is always really good, but I'm going to go with them. They've just played top to bottom, solid hockey all year long. So give me Dubauer in Colorado. Next up, the goal scorer. We've got Matthews with a 34-26 lead over Mikko Rantanen. Does Mikko Rantanen or Brad Marchand catch Austin Matthews? I'll just leave it at that for you guys.
No.
Yeah, I'm going to say no either. Yeah, that's all. It's a home run for Austin Matthews, so Austin Matthews is going to win the most goals award. So some of those are simple. Some of those are a little bit more difficult. Hope you guys enjoyed those takes. We're going to move into our live betting outro here. I just got to get that pulled up. While I'm doing that, if you already haven't, please be sure to smash the like button, share the video, and follow us on youtube.com/take it to the Hizzy. Let's go. And I purposely said that slow to buy myself more time to pull up these games, which worked out really, really well. All right, we've got the Montreal Canadiens visiting the Calgary Flames. They are up 2-1 with the third period about to start. They are minus 259 on the money line, and the puck line still at, was it plus 1.5 for the Calgary Flames, minus 246 to hit that. The over-under is at 5.5 goals with 3 goals scored. What do you guys like here? 1 period to play.
I'm gonna say the under the 6.5 goals. I'm gonna say that the Flames still win though. I think they're gonna come back. It's gonna be a 3-2 win.
It was 5.5. So.
Well, yeah. So 3-2. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll take that as well. What do you think, OZ?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna switch to Montreal on this one. I think it sounds like they'll probably hold the lead and give me the under on this one.
Yeah, minus 259 value at the books is not that bad for a team with 1 goal. So I'll take that. It's going to go north really quick once they get a 2-goal lead here. Next up, we've got the Colorado Avalanche and the St. Louis Blues. The Blues are up 3-1. Ouch. Ouch. So I'll ask you this. Can the Avalanche stage a comeback? Plus 325 on the money line. We are halfway through the game, 10 minutes left in the second period. Can the Avalanche storm back here?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think you ever count the Avalanche out.
Let's do it. Let's make $5 holler on plus 325 here. I like it. Over under 7.5 goals. If we like the Avalanche to come back, we like the over 7.5 goals, which is paying plus 7. Parlay those together. That's a big chunk of change.
It could go to 7 though.
That's true. You could just wait for the line to go to 7 if they even it up here too. Wouldn't hate that. Let's see. The Avalanche at plus 1.5 is minus 103. I think that's probably the safe bet live. Just that they make this a 1-goal game at some point. So yeah, wouldn't hate that at all. Next up, we've got the Vancouver Canucks visiting the Senators. I had the Canucks in this one. Ottawa's up 2-1. Let's see. The plus 1.5 for the Vancouver on the puck line is minus 207. I like that a lot right now because I still like them in this game. For them to win, they're at plus 190. Can Vancouver come back?
No.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, we got some mixed reports here. Right now, Vancouver plus 199 on the money line for a comeback win. And the total is at 5.5. So what do you guys think about the total? 5:30 left in the second with 3 goals scored.
Under.
Yeah.
What do you think, OZ?
I'm going
under. I'm going to go the under too. We talked about that earlier in the show about the under being the consistent theme there between those two teams. Excuse me. Next up, we've got the Hurricanes losing to Dallas in Dallas. Dallas covering the line, as I said. Right now, they're up 2-0. Carolina plus 357 for a comeback win on the money line. What do you guys think?
No.
Fading. All right, we're going Dallas in this one. Over under is at 5.5 goals. Can we get a little bit more scoring frenzy going here?
Yes.
All right, fair enough. Maybe Dallas runs up the number here and Carolina squeaks out a few goals. I'll go with you guys to the over. It's paying minus 136, so the books are with us. And the puck line plus 1.5 for the Carolina Hurricanes. I think they can get close in this one. So it's paying plus 117. Good value, guys?
It's early. I'm going to say that the Panthers pull away later in the game.
Carolina.
Oh, I thought we were on the Panthers. Sorry.
Haven't got there yet. Next one. Close.
No,
Next one.
No, I don't. Okay. I don't think so.
All right, you got Nick's got Dallas pulling away. What about you, OZ? Can Carolina keep it close at least?
I think I don't think they're going to blow it away, but I think they'll keep it close.
Okay, sounds good. It sounds like you have Carolina covering that plus 1.5. Next up, we've got the Panthers in Nashville. We've got a tie game with halfway through the first period, 1-1. Right now, the Panthers are minus 132 on the money line. You guys want to jump in? Or you got any love for the Preds at plus 100?
No.
Not touching the Preds.
Not touching the Preds. All right. We only have a goal total here. We have no puck line value right now. It's at 6.5. I like the under. 6.5 total for Preds and Panthers.
Ooh. 6.5. I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah, I'm
You're
going.
taking over?
Mhm.
Okay. What do you think, OZ?
I'm going to go the under on this one, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the under as well. I would have liked really more scoring from either team. Like I said, I was high on Nashville to cover here, but I figured we'd get a little bit more action by now. So give me the Predators to still cover that one and to cover the under. All right, cool. Well, that's a wrap, boys. You got anything to close out the show?
Nope. Thank you all for watching. Hold your doge.
Hold your doge!
Hopefully it gets to $1 someday.
Someday over the rainbow. We'll buy an NHL team. That's for sure.
There we go. Buy an NHL team, rename it to Doge.
At an ice rink, the very best, or at the very least, and we'll name it Doge. We can name the rink Doge. So that there's no problem there. So, all right, everybody, thanks for stopping by. Take care. This was TITTH number 135. We'll be back Wednesday for 136 with fantasy basketball. We'll see you.
See you guys.